I'm clicking go live now. Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Orchard Core Pair Programming by Lombiq. And we are back here with Drew Brasher. So if you may remember, if you were here last week, we have started to work on a content warning module. So if you want to shield specific pieces of content in a content item, in the text of a content item actually, because it's a spoiler for a movie or a triggering content, then you can now do that with shortcodes. Now, what we'll continue with today is the same module and the same concept, but with a content part. So we can have a content warning for a complete content item. And now I will hand over to Drew, who will do the actual development.
Okay. So since the last time that I have made a few commits to the repository, but it was just to update the README and add some information for publishing to NuGet. So now you've got some usage instructions on how to use the shortcode that we added, and a link to the NuGet package, which I'll be updating after we get done adding the content part today. So,
have you considered adding a NuGet badge, by the way, or a NuGet shield?
Oh, what did you say?
Have you considered adding a NuGet shield instead of the link to the README?
No, I haven't. I'm not sure if I know what you're talking about.
If you check out the Orchard Core GitHub, I believe we have. Yes, we have a NuGet shield there. It's a little widget that will that shows the latest NuGet version and a little graphics of sorts. It's basically a nicer link. Yeah, you see under build status. That's blue badge. Yeah, that's one.
Okay. I'll look into adding that instead. Thanks. Okay. One thing that was brought up in the discussion when I was first talking about this was that because I guess with this we need to wrap the content type in something that has that data content warning attribute. So it was suggested to look at the form part in Orchard Core, because it has a content driver that adds a wrapper shape around the content. So that's kind of where I was going to start looking into that to see how that was done.
Sounds good.
Okay. So if we look at Orchard Core forms, there's the content display driver. And it looks like this right here is what they were talking about, where it adds a wrapper. And then this corresponds to a view. Let's see. A form.wrapper that actually puts the form, adds a form element, and then it renders the child content inside that. So I was thinking maybe try to just kind of do something similar to this.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I was just wondering what would happen if you were to use this together with an inline content warning. But probably we don't need to care about that kind of misuse.
I was wondering that also. I was something I was going to test out once we get it added and see if it
Okay.
will. Yeah, I'm not sure what that would do.
Probably not worth sweating about too much.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that when I created this module from, I used the Orchard Core templates, and one of the options, and I'll just go, I'm not going to add a new project, but just when you add a new module project, it has this checkbox to add all the files required for a part. So I didn't add that when I first created this because I was just going to do the short code at first and didn't want to, I just wanted to have the basic module structure. I did go back, like once I created the module, I committed my code and then deleted the module and then recreated it and checked that box to see, so I could see all the files that it would have created if I had checked that box. And so I have them in a stash. So I could apply the stash, to get all of the files that it would have created had I checked that box. One thing I was curious about, is there a way to create all these files after you created the module though? Like kind of like I don't think there is, but besides just creating them one by one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to do them all at once. Apart from doing this, you can use our snippets from the Dojo library. So we have snippets for all of these as well, but that's also just one by one. I don't believe the code generation templates support this either. Yeah, probably this is for now. This is the best approach.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Do you think, should I apply this stash, or would it be better for us to just go through one by one for this?
Well, let's go probably one by one.
Okay. And then there are some here that I don't think we're going to need a settings section that I could think of, unless they're that, okay. And for creating the content item, I know there is an extension, a Lombiq extension that will let you create the item in the UI and then export that out to a migration. So I think I will start with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that just keeps you from having to hand code all of the migration stuff.
Do you want to create a content type or just a content part?
Oh, content part. Yeah, that's right. I don't need the content type.
Yeah, probably then you don't need any further code generation, just a content part class.
Okay.
Oh, you are hand writing manually these? I thought that you'll apply the stash just one by one.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. I thought you were talking about just go through it like without the stash, but I could do.
I think it's useful to use the code generation because why would you write it yourself? Just I meant that probably applying all of that at once would be a bit of an overload.
Okay. Let's see. So we'll start with the content warning part. And I'm not actually sure through here how to apply it. Just one of them.
I don't use the Git extension of Visual Studio, so I'm not sure, but but then you can just apply all at once.
Okay. So, and it's got some conflicts because I did make some changes to some of this. So I'm gonna keep this. Just
Yeah, so you probably don't need anything from the left now.
do I need this?
I don't think so. Actually, I'm not sure where content parts are managed. Yeah, probably that's safe to. Well, it's definitely safe to leave there. I'm not sure whether it's absolutely mandatory, but it doesn't really matter at this point, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so the CodeGen template also adds all the registrations for the content part. That's nice.
I just need to add back what I added to the.
And when something is just inexplainably not working in Orchard Core and it's not your code is not doing anything, then it's usually that you forgot the registration. So probably it's a good thing to start with.
Okay.
By the way, you can also see the NuGet related metadata there in the CS proj file. Nice.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Is it still? Okay.
Yeah, even if you are working alone, it's useful to use a repository, of course, even if you don't want to share your code, and commit diligently so you have a path that you take back if you need to.
I'm not sure why it's.
Don't you need to accept the merge in the central window? Yeah, it's the button to the right. Again, I'm not using this client, so I'm not entirely sure, but.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, so now we've got all the
bunch of files.
The driver, the handlers, the model, the settings, although I'm not sure I'm going to need the settings.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I think I'll just delete that back out.
Did it also generate view models?
It does. And here's the view models.
Okay, and for some strange reason, the display templates are on Liquid. Okay.
Okay, and we've got the migration. Adds the content warning part. Okay.
What's the warning here?
Okay, so this is it's using the create method, and it needs to be using create async.
Oh,
or well, the alter type definition async instead of alter part definition.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed, we need that.
And I think I will add a name so that it doesn't show up in the content part list without the space.
Mm-hmm.
Change this.
Mm-hmm.
And then for in a model, I was going to add, well, so instead of this, well, I guess this would be show content warning. Or maybe just show warning. Yeah.
Yeah, caching, validation, and naming things. The two hard things in computer science.
And then I'll add another one. That will be the warning message.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
What's in the handler? You briefly showed it. Oh yeah. Is this actually needed? The whole handler?
I was thinking it may not be needed.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think it would be useful to initialize show on through any way, but by the way, that you can do from the content part.
Okay.
Otherwise, I don't really think that you will need a handler.
Okay, I'll just delete that. And then driver. Oops. Oops. Oh, I guess it also created view models.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that in a content part shape, both in the editor and display shape, you have a property automatically added, a dynamic property with the content part and the content item. Sorry, definitely with the content part, but also with the content item. So I don't think that content item property is needed here, but it's safe to leave there. Just I think it's unnecessary.
Oh, okay. I'll change this too. Okay. Oh. I'll take that out since I deleted out the content, the settings.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go back to
what are the warnings for the two properties there?
These two properties.
The ones below. So why is it underlined in green?
Oh. Oops.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because you are using the level in the project.
So should I make these nullable?
I think yes. I think they need to be nullable actually, because when the model binding happens, they won't be filled.
Okay.
Not just because it doesn't make sense, but also due to bind number. So yeah, otherwise it would fail.
Okay, so now, so I've got the part, the display. Okay, I need to finish this.
I don't really think that the search parameter there is needed, no.
Okay.
Because I'm not entirely sure what's that actually. Yeah, there's no search parameter.
Okay.
Interesting.
Let's just take that. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's what I just checked out the code. That would be an include expression, so which properties to include. Otherwise, it won't include the others, but probably you don't need it.
Okay. And then this part, I don't need that. This. Okay.
Are the registrations in order? The common gotcha? It should be, but
Let's see. Oh, this is because we didn't need the handler, so I could just take that out. Code provider. Okay. I guess when I did the merge, I lost that using to
oh yeah, I think
driver.
that's for the settings that you
Oh,
removed.
yeah. Okay. Okay. And then we've got the migration. And do I need to add, because I know there's do I need to add a reference to add something in here about the fields? Or are those just
No,
because they're
you don't
properties
need.
on the.
But there's one thing I'd recommend, just a small thing. There in outer part definition async, the first parameter is the name of the content part, which should be the same as the name of the class. So you can just use name of there with the class, with the type of the class. So you don't, yeah, if you happen to change that, it'll be a little bit easier.
Okay.
And similarly, for every such kind of reference, I recommend using name of or having common constants instead of copy pasting around strings.
Where else?
And you need
So
to check out the views now, at least the editor.
Yes. So this one I can get rid of the settings. And then we got the summary, and then the editor. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay.
By the way, if you let Visual Studio rename everything when you rename a property, then these will be automatically renamed as well. So you don't need to do all of this by hand.
Yeah, I thought that I looked for that option, but I didn't see it when I hovered over it. But maybe I just. And so, right. Oh, okay. So yeah. So I guess really for for stuff like this, would it be better to create a constant to use throughout, or should?
Is there create a bot for?
Oh, you were talking about creating a constant for strings that were used. What about the kind of like the display name like that, or should that just be like that?
That's good like that actually, but only such strings that are for UI labels, because you need to be able to localize them. That's why it's in a T. And to be able to do that best, you actually need the strings there, because then the PO extractor tool by Hisham can actually take that out and create a PO file of them. And then you can also have different strings in the different places, which seems counter to what we discussed before, but for UI labels, that's useful.
Okay.
Because especially localization, you might not know that, okay, in English, it's the same string in these two places, but is it the same in French? Is it the same in Hungarian?
Yeah.
It probably is.
So then I need to add. Okay.
These are things that I always copy paste from somewhere.
Let me see.
I didn't mean to interject or to interrupt.
You think, should I find something here to copy paste from, or should I just continue?
Probably at this point, just continue.
Okay.
I suppose the message should be a single line string, right? So not a multi-line text box or something like that. Text area.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I guess that. Well, yeah, I feel like usually it's just going to be something pretty short, just so people know why it's hidden.
Yeah, that's what I would suppose as well.
I don't know. Do you usually put like the Bootstrap class,
Form control
trying to
is
remember.
usually what we have.
So I think.
One thing, by the way, just food for thought. Yeah, probably it would be worth wrapping that input and second input and label into a div as well. I'm not sure which class to use there. Not form check, but probably I'm not sure.
I think maybe like a form. They're I think it's form group.
Okay.
Is that? I think I can't remember.
Maybe
We'll try that.
That's like copy paste. And secondly, there's also you don't really have validation now, input validation. Probably it's not really important right now. Maybe you could add at least a require attribute on warning message, unless you want to display some kind of default warning message when the person doesn't provide it. But if you were to have actually some validation, and then the possibility of validation errors, then there's also this thing, the ASP validation class for attributes. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah, also that would be useful on the diffs as well.
Okay.
But not right now.
One thing that I'd have to think, it would have to be a conditional validation though, because if the show warning is not checked, then they wouldn't need a message.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems it. Probably you could make this very, very nice by adding a little bit of JavaScript to only show the warning message when you click the checkbox, but
yeah, that would be better. Yeah.
Maybe for another time.
Okay. So I think that is it as far as getting this into the editor and stuff. Can you think of anything else I need to do before I try it?
I would just try. I would have probably tried it earlier as well.
Yeah, I just need to take out these namespaces that from where I deleted the settings in the handler.
Not admin passwords.
No, I didn't. So let's just see if the part is here. Here's the part.
That's a good start.
Okay.
And it's attachable.
Content types. So I'm going to go to the blog post and add this. I'm going to create a new one just in case it does conflict with the short code. Well, maybe later I'll go back and test that one.
Try to break it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
And do have that.
Probably the label should come before the text box. Because there's the warning message label. It's not before or after.
Yeah. Go ahead and change that.
Yeah, so this looks promising. This was all the scaffolding on the basics. We just need to do all the rest.
Okay. I'll just stop debugging then. Yeah.
We want to continue with the liquid template for a display template, or rather do that in Razor as well.
I think I would rather do it in Razor, although I don't think it's not really. It really doesn't even need to display anything. I don't think, because both of the well.
The JavaScript needs to be loaded from a display template.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh no, because you can actually do the whole thing from a wrapper indeed. Yeah, you are right. You don't actually need a display template.
Okay.
And that should actually happen in summary. Same thing. Also display content warning there.
I would say it should, yeah. So I didn't think about that.
Probably good to start with the same thing. And if it breaks like the block list or something, then re-evaluate.
Okay. Okay, so for looking at the form, the way the form does the wrapper, it looks like I'm going to need a content, like a content warning content display driver. So I guess I will start by creating that.
Yeah, I think pretty much the same thing would be suitable for you here.
And I don't know if there's a. I don't know if there's a snippet for that, but I can just copy the one from the forums.
Yeah, we have a snippet for the content part driver, but not for such a driver. So at this point. And otherwise, I think it's worthwhile copying from here because this has everything else you need as well. So this will be a driver for a whole content item, not just a content part. And you want to conditionally create a wrapper shape around the content shape, right?
Yes.
And by the way, this one is only doing it in detail, so yeah.
So so it's already checking for the part to be null, and I was gonna then need to check for the show warning. And then this would be. Okay.
Yeah, and this one creates a wrapper, a separate wrapper for each content type. Do you need that?
Probably not.
By the way, you can also leave it there and you can have both. So you can have one with and without, and you can provide just a shape template for the one without. So it will be useful for all content items, all content types, and then open up the possibility of overriding that shape for content type specifically.
Okay. I did notice, like on here, like it doesn't look like this one is content type specific.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm not sure how that works or why that works.
Should I just go with it like it is? Or should I take this out?
Well, we can try. If it doesn't work, then we can try to figure out, or then we can add the default one. I really don't know what kind of magic would make this work, but perhaps.
Okay. So then I just need to create the view. And I'll look back at the. So I think I'm going to need something like this.
Yep. You will need to name the file .cshtml2.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have IntelliSense either.
That's weird. Usually, even if I delete out, like even if when I'm creating a new one, it will usually add that even if I delete the whole line in the editor there when you're creating it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna. Oh, okay, there it goes.
Yeah, Razor IntelliSense is sometimes a bit uncertain. It's content warning part, no? That you need here?
Yes. So then I would do the same thing I did for the short code, which was create a span with this attribute.
Shouldn't it probably be a div at least here, because you will probably have divs and other block level elements within it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And then in here, I'm going to put, oops. The warning message. And then back.
And by the way, probably rename that form part variable if you.
Oh yes, yeah.
If you want to hide where you copy pasted it from.
I'll just name it part, so if I copy paste this somewhere else, I don't have to rename it. And then I need to include the JavaScript and CSS.
Oh yeah.
Would I do that using the resource manager, or just put in the link, like the regular HTML script and and style links?
Like that. So it's the same thing.
Okay.
You can do the same thing. Oh no, because of course, yeah, previously you did it with the shortcode provider. So yeah, there you will need the script and style tag indeed.
Let's see.
You can probably copy the URLs, by the way, from the shortcode provider.
But I don't need to use the resource manager. Or do I need to use that? Oh, okay, so just
you. By the way, you can. So if you just want to copy paste this, you can copy paste this and put it into the driver, and it will have the same effect.
I guess I will just.
Probably it's a bit nicer to do it in the CSS/HTML though.
Okay, let's do that. And I'm guessing they use the sections for the script.
You don't need to.
Okay.
You can, you can just use the script tag and the ASP, SRC, and to include the script by the URL, and pretty much it. But you will need to use the ASP-src. You know, the tag helper, not just the simple tag.
Okay.
It's interesting that you don't have it show up. We need Addison's.
Let me see what's in. Am I missing something from me?
I think it's fine because Orchid Core Resource Management is the one that takes care of that. Probably you will need a reference to in the CS project file to Orchid Core Resource Management as well. Do you have that? Oh, it should already.
I should have it. Yeah, I should have that already.
Yeah.
Oops.
And this should work, but I don't know. I don't know why IntelliSense wasn't working for you, but anyway. By the way, isn't this a food script?
Yes. Well, I think that's where we have it on the other, because that's where we had it at for the shortcode provider. I had it at the foot.
Oh, okay. Then do you know how to declare the same thing in CS/HTML?
Is it an attribute?
Yeah, it's the attribute at, and then at equals foot or head.
Okay.
But yeah, again, it's very strange that you don't have IntelliSense for it here. Probably that means that something will be broken in runtime too. And you need a capital F with a foot.
Okay. Okay. And then
Yeah, let's hope this will work.
okay. Let's give it a try.
Yeah, let's see. By the way, the resource manager, also called resource management dependence is very tricky, because if you miss that from the CS project, everything will still seemingly work locally, but not when you deploy it. And this is not really what we are looking for yet, I suppose.
Yeah. Let's see if it even added the.
It doesn't seem that the wrapper is working, no?
No, it doesn't seem like it is.
Then probably it's worth adding the the wrapper name without the content type. Indeed.
Okay. Right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can edit the second one, so you can keep this.
Okay.
Because if you have a wrapper but there's no corresponding shape, that's no problem. But that's a separate scenario. It's not a fluid interface.
Oh, so you just add, like, I would just need to do this whole line again.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
By the way, if you open or start the app without debugging, the Control F5, then and probably there's also a button for that. I just never use it. Then it will start a little bit faster, but more importantly, you can
Okay.
freely edit the code and reload. Hot reload there.
Well,
But
it's like this.
more importantly, this isn't really doing its thing. Did you register the driver?
Let me check. I'm not sure.
Well, you did register the content bar driver, but I don't think you did it for this one now.
Oh, you're right. I didn't.
It's always the registration in the startup, always.
Okay. So, oh, there we go.
Okay.
And it works in the. Well, I kind of. I think. I wonder.
It needs a bit of styling.
Something looked weird. Yeah. But also, oh, okay. Now I can get. Wait, can I? Okay. But it seems to be not showing up. Well, it's got the wrapper. Maybe
Yeah,
I
but
just need to.
you see the script and style inclusions there. Those weren't really compiled.
Oh, I see.
I have no idea why it's worked on in the summary. So,
And it looks like it's adding it. It's adding it twice.
But yes, indeed. That's also strange. I'm not sure why. So, taking a step back, probably you don't need it as a wrapper for the whole content item, no, because the title should still be possible to see and the metadata, no?
Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, it does seem like that. The title and stuff. So that might be more difficult to. So I guess it needs to add it to the body somehow.
Yeah, that was that's something I was about to suggest. So probably encode this to the body. Just support HTML body part, or probably a Markdown body part that's used here for now, and just wrap that.
Okay.
Well, that's probably something that's first of all an exercise to the viewer.
Yeah.
And secondly that you can add as a 1.1 version 1.1 because unfortunately our time is now up.
Okay.
But I think we reached a pretty good checkpoint now.
Yes.
Because something works. That's very curious, that double double wrapper in DTLPU. I'm not sure why that happens, but the debugger can always help. And I think that's it's still a good time to conclude for today.
All right, and I will probably go ahead and commit what I have, to get. So if people who are, watching it want to, to get to this point, and also if anyone has, and there's also a link to this in here, but this discussion is about this module. So if anybody has any input they want to give, you could add it to this discussion.
Yes, and I will share it in the chat again. So yeah, I think that's still a usable result for everyone watching along. Please check out then the commit of true of soon, and I hope that you will also fix this issue and get the content part into a usable state soon as well.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome. And thank you for being our guest again. And thank you everyone for watching us. I think we now have a pretty good content warning module. And we have seen now not just how to develop some shortcodes, but also here how to create a content part and a non-trivial content part at that, because this content part actually wraps its parent. So very nice. Thank you everyone. We'll also have a stream next week, and we'll be back to Monday next week with Hisham. Hisham will show us some insights into a customer project actually with the decoupled CMS approach. This stream was about the traditional CMS approach. Backend, frontend is the same application, and they are both driven by Orchard Core. Next week, we'll see what happens when the front end is still the same app. It's not driven by Orchard Core. So subscribe and hit the bell icon if you would like to get notified about new streams. And otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone.